you got to assume everyone's going to have their perceptions of, especially like MMA. Like people think it's like barbaric, and you know what I mean? They wouldn't understand the inside.
It is barbaric. That's what I like about it. When people bring their family to a comedy show, or like they don't know.
Sounds terrible.
Well, that's the thing. They don't. If somebody wasn't a comedy fan to begin with, they weren't a fan of comedy, they didn't like stand-up comedy, they weren't part of it, they've never been there before, but they're going to support you, you're setting them up for failure.
Yeah.
They don't like it, they're uncomfortable in it. And that's what killed me kind of about cancel culture when it like started 2 years ago. When
they gotta lie to you and say you're great.
Yeah, like, oh, it was great. Okay, thanks for coming. So I'm here. I'm just here to support you. That was one of my favorites. I was like, hey, so what'd you think? I'm just here to support you.
So you hated it.
Yeah, I hope your tire's flat when you go back to your car. Thanks. Love you, Unc. Anyway, the cancel culture, what bothered me so much was they were listening to people who weren't comedy fans. These were never people. When they canceled Chappelle's show by standing out in front of the theater, not letting people go in, well, those people had never bought a ticket.
Right.
Once. Why are we listening to them? Why does everything have to be for everybody? Part of what I loved about movies growing up, part of what I thought, the Kevin Smith stuff, it wasn't for everybody. It wasn't even for a lot of people, but it was for a small group of people that really got it and really liked it. And that was kind of like these little subcultures that you had. It was like, just because I like hip-hop doesn't mean we have to stop putting out country music. That's the part of it I don't understand about this kind of new evolution of culture.
Well, I think it's very much a religious movement, like you talk to like a very rational religious person and they can tell you what they believe, but they can also be okay that you might not believe what they believe. Mm-hmm. The people who are so diehard about protecting the sanctity of thought in the arts are demanding that you agree with them.
Yeah.
It all boils down, in my opinion, to like people who prefer vanilla ice cream to chocolate ice cream. Like you could take that. I actually heard recently on a joke, I was laughing because I've said that to my friends and they're like, no, that is not true. There is some speech that is so harmful, you must eliminate it. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, just listen to shit you like and try to formulate a good argument for stuff you don't, but don't try to extinguish it. There was a thing on Joe Rogan where he was talking about, and I forget what it was, but like how, it was either chocolate or vanilla. The cultivation of the cocoa leaf is like harmful to people. Like people are being abused by this. And I go like, it's all fucking chocolate or vanilla. Like you can make an argument. You can find out how people are being abused by growing vanilla beans and make an argument that vanilla is evil. Like supporting this thing is evil.
Yeah, millions of people each year die from overexposure to H2O. We have to get rid of this chemical compound H2O. People get overexposed to it. They're surrounded by H2O too much and they die.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, you just described drowning.
Yeah. Do you get mad if somebody doesn't like the same flavor of ice cream as you? No, I don't.
Of course not.
It's not upsetting to me. So it's the same shit with all of this stuff. You just see people frothing at the mouth about their flavor of ice cream.
What I get even more angry about, though, isn't that it's the manipulation of it. It's the selective editing of one clip of something to preemptively cancel it, or to even worse, now they're using it as marketing, where, hey, this thing coming out, the wrong people won't like this. And it's like, then you look at it and it's been like 4 tweets from a bot farm, and it's like, nobody actually cares.
Right.
Nobody cares, like, hey, this person hates MMA. No, they don't. You said that. You said they hate it to start the conversation, to get organic marketing, you evil prick. Yeah. You're using people's anger against one another in this culture war to sell a Disney movie. This is insanity.
Yeah.
I mean, how does a movie like American History X get made in an environment like today?
You can't make that today. No way.
Yeah.
Nobody. You could not make that movie today.
And that movie is one of the most important movies I've ever seen in my life. And forget about like the acting was through the roof. Can you imagine, the Edward Norton's role being seen through a lens that's unacceptable, that there's not a moral to that story that's worth telling, no matter how harsh the telling of the story is?
Yeah, it's insane.